from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch editorial board. Good morning, Deb Peterson.
Good morning, McGraw. How are you today?
Usually you and I are on opposite ends of whatever argument we're discussing. But
we try to be.
We try to be. We don't try to be.
It just it's that difficult. Yeah.
It just happens naturally. But you and I are square right, exactly the same place on this homeless problem downtown.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Now you live in the midst of the area that is under discussion.
That is correct.
And what is your sentiment about this?
My sentiment is this: a dear friend of mine told me the other day they wanted to get in busy with some charities, so they decided to get into this charity, and they were so proud of the fact that day they fed the homeless downtown. And I'm like, you're not doing them any good. You're doing them harm, and you're ruining it for the rest of us.
Now that. I don't know if I'm going to tell you I'm not exactly in that spot with you, because I do think the long-term solution to homelessness is, I think the city has a pretty good handle on that. They've put a lot of money into that, and the effort is good, and Bill Seedoff, who is the director of...
You asked Bill Seedoff if you should just give homeless people money or give them food.
No, but that's not the point. The point is there are people who need emergency shelter. Why do they need emergency shelter? Because they are not ready to move into long-term housing of any sort yet. They need maybe to be stabilized. There's all kinds of reasons. Mm-hmm. So you do have to feed these people. Feeding them on the streets, maybe not the best idea. Feeding them at the New Life Evangelistic Center or allowing that to continue to be operated the way it has been, that's kind of the issue. So it's a city where there are 29 shelters. If these shelters were used more frequently, and there are many reasons why they're not. Among them, chiefly, is location. So the New Life Evangelistic Center at 14th and Locust has access to pretty much every downtown service that a homeless person is going to need. You have to shift that. You have to get the city much more involved in having housing that is accessible, easily, defined, close to buses. You can't expect people to go out to, zip codes that are, 5 miles away when they don't have any ability to get transported. So these are critical issues.
You ask a homeless person how much he makes a day in panhandling, you would be shocked.
Now wait, oh my God, you just are so. No, there are professional panhandlers. There are groups that send people out to panhandle so that they can support the groups, whatever the group is doing, whether it's drug,
right,
related or whatever. But the average person who is panhandling a little bit, they don't make a lot of money. No. Look. The truth is this.
How
do you know? Do you do their taxes? Okay, never mind. Sorry.
That was awfully harsh. My point is this, is that by giving a homeless person money, you're not helping them. You are hurting them and enabling them to continue the bad actions that got them homeless in the first place. A homeless person comes up to me on the street and asks for money. I say, excuse me, the St. Patrick's Center is right there. Go knock on their door. I support them. They will take care of you. And they're like, they don't really help. I'm like, they don't want help. They want their drugs or their alcohol. And if they're not ready to be helped, we can't help them.
Wow, that is a really narrow-minded point of view. I don't think it's they want their drugs. These are people, many of them with mental health problems, veterans. Do you know how many veterans are homeless? I mean, you're painting this, this population very incorrectly, I believe. And I do believe lots of homeless people go to the St. Patrick's Center, and I do believe they get food or whatever they get there. But they don't provide them with overnight housing, and that is what is happening. So you have downtown people who have nowhere to spend the night except for, they believe, the New Life Evangelistic Center. So they go and they hang around out there waiting to get in because they don't get in until a certain time of night. This is not a problem that you're going to say, these are not people who are just going to go out and get drugs and alcohol. That's a very simplistic definition.
All right.
A city that handles it tremendously is Salt Lake City, and they have been recognized by national agencies for their methods of helping the homeless. And one of the things they've done that's very creative, I believe, it's not really taken hold yet, but they've used their old parking meters because they've converted to electronic meters. So the old parking meters, They've painted them, and companies adopt them. And if you go put your spare change in those meters, it goes to the groups like the St. Patrick Center, the equivalent. And then that money is used to help the homeless. So if a panhandler comes up to you on the street, you say, I'm not going to give you the money, but I'm putting it here into this, parking meter that's painted red, so we know it is specifically designated for homeless collection.
Oh.
Clever.
Yeah, absolutely.
There are very interesting ways to do, to help.
Yeah.
And in St. Louis, unfortunately, this problem has been hijacked time and again by Reverend Larry Rice.
Well, that we can end on and agree on.
Okay.
And I think we should ship all the homeless to downtown St. Charles.
Now that your friends are moving there, don't you have some friends moving out where you were going to be moving?
I got friends all over the metropolitan St. Louis area.
Yeah.
I got to go. I got to run.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Great talking to you.
Deb, we got to give Deb more time here at some point. Thanks, Deb. STLtoday.com, editorial page editor. Boy, that was heated. We'll check in with Mike Kelly. We got to save some time for him because got to talk a little NBA draft with him. We'll do that next on KTR.